Hello and welcome to the Faith Building Podcast, episode 60. Yes, 60. We are really amazed by that. 60 episodes already with your lovely and amazing host, Vladi Kuna.
And Gräter. Hi, guys.
Hello and welcome. Today we want to speak about the I am and what's behind the I am and why the I am is so important. And this morning I rehearsed a song for our choir show that we have in 2 weeks. It's called The Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. And I want to read you 2-3 lines from that song. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. No message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. So it's all about us to make a change. Gonna feel real good right now. I'm gonna make a change. It's gonna feel real good. Come on, just lift yourself. You know, you've got to stop it yourself. I've got to make the change today. And the whole song is basically about that if you wanna make a change in your life, you need to change. You need to change the man, the woman in the mirror and nobody else. And I'm just being reminded that the I am that you are, that you think you are, your position in the world, your position in your life, how you view yourself, this sends out a frequency, a vibration. And this is basically what attracts like. You don't get what you want, you attract more of who you really are. And we can make a little something. For everyone who's not in the car, everybody in the car, keep your eyes open. Everybody else, and maybe Vladi can assist as a live participant in that, just close your eyes for a couple seconds. Relax and think about your big dream, your big desire, your big intuition thing you want to have, whatever you want to have in your life or want to be in your life. Think about that. And I can see in Vladi's face a smile. And as Vladi is live, what do you feel, Vladi? Not specific the feelings, but do you feel different thinking about that?
Yes, I feel so much happier.
So much happier. Thank you very much. You can open your eyes again. And I think this relates to each and everyone who did that. You say, I feel happier, I feel relaxeder, I feel more in tune, I feel X, Y, Z. And now comes the interesting part. If you think about achieving your goal and it makes you feel different, in most cases better, that's the reason why you don't have it yet. Because if thinking about, feeling about your goal achieved brings you in a different state, attitude, or vibration, this means that the thing you're sending out right now is maybe the opposite of it, or at least not the same thing. Which makes sense? If we think about our mentor, Bob Proctor, at one point very late in the masterclass, he said, you know, I'm not getting excited about the good things or the bad things. Everything is kind of neutral to me. And I thought, this makes for me no sense. If something good happens, you should jump of joy. And if something bad happens, don't take it too serious. And I think that's related to exactly that. And it has to do with the I am. This means your I am is vibrating a certain frequency. The moment you close your eyes and you envision yourself having your goal achieved, and if this feels different, that's the reason why you don't have it yet, because it's a different feeling, which means you're not vibrating the feeling all the time, just when you think about it. And most of us are so drawn to our daily life and to the routines and the habits, what we spoke about last time. Like the older you get, the more solid habits you have and the more challenging it is to get rid of them. If you have your habits in 60 years, what Vladi mentioned in last episode 59, of course a child can change their habits quite easy. They don't have like 60 years, 40 years of baggage on their back saying, I've done this all these years, the same time, and my parents have done it the same way and whatever. So this is the big secret why so many wishes that we have are not in our life yet. This means we should come to a point where we vibrate as our wish would have been fulfilled 24 hours, 7 days a week. And maybe today we can pull away the curtain a little bit because it all has to do with the I am. And we dig a little deeper into the I am what you can do, what you should be looking at, that you make your I am, and this means your life and everything that happens in your life, basically a masterpiece. And we are helpful if we can give you a little advice, a little hint, a little idea on our big buffet that we build every week, that this is more possible for you. And I know one grandmaster of the I am, and she sits right across from me or in the same room right now. Vladi, what are your thoughts about the great I am?
Thank you for a compliment. I love the I am. I think it's one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself to achieve anything in the world. And what you put after I am is who you become. Or you're becoming it anyway. But, you know, oh my God, I could talk about this for hours. I'm trying to
Go
quickly
ahead, go ahead.
what do I want to say to you guys? So it's very condensed. But I am, and I'm gonna start with this. As Norman was talking about the frequencies, it really is moving up your frequencies. And if you were a student of Bob Proctor or any of these masters at some point, they always say things. You need to know where you are, and you need to know where you're going. And we lose the ourselves in focusing, how am I going to get there? You don't need to know how. You need to connect visually to, I am that person who I desire to be. I am already that person who achieved whatever dream you were. That was a great exercise. You know, you close your eyes. And Norman's very right. Sometimes we're focusing like, okay, so I will do, there's lots of people, lots of us advising you like doing affirmations, you know, like I am great, I'm strong, I'm wealthy, I'm prosperous. They do work. Affirmations are very powerful. However, I will say this because we've practiced this for almost 9 years now. If you're not in a right state of mind, if you're not in a right neutral vibration, don't do the affirmations. People create more resistance by feeling very stressed. Let's say you're really having a stressful day at work or with the kids or somewhere. You standing there and saying, I'm calm, I'm calm, I'm calm. It's actually creating more resistance and vibrationally bringing you lower on a frequency while you're affirming, I'm calm. It's better to find something that will bring you to a neutral ground. What is this something? Whatever helps you. If it's music, we have this song, Great I Am. Norman mentioned it. I'm in love with that song. I put that song as a background to my affirmations and mini scripts I create for myself and self kind of image, a little talk I do. I love that song. Other songs that really raise your vibration up. It can be classical, it can be rock, it can be anything. Anything that really helps you. If you love cooking and you actually go to the kitchen and start baking and cooking and that really gets you into your zone, I'm going to call it your zone. That's what we're looking for here. Before you do the I am affirmations and I am a dreaming and anything, bring yourself in your zone or close to your zone, as close as you can. Because even Bible says, I am strong. But when you feel the weakest ever and you just not really yourself, standing here and saying, I'm strong, it actually does exactly the opposite. And I didn't believe this in a year. So I did that for years, actually, for probably 2 or 3 years, standing there and affirming, writing the goal, writing it, forcing it. And it didn't help. And I was teaching, I am creating a discipline. Well, yes, I was being persistent. That was definitely, or consistent, but it wasn't helping my vibrational state. Because if you actually breathe and you take a deep 10 breaths, that's what Norman's done with us, and you place or walk, go for a walk every day to nature, hug a tree, do something. When you have a cup of coffee or tea, just smell it and be grateful for you having that coffee. If that's how you bring yourself down, then do that. And you know what? We cannot tell you how fast you're going to start manifesting. Because I love the statements. In fact, I brought just a couple of lines. I have lists like this where I'm just like, I'm unstoppable. I'm unstoppable. I'm unstoppable. I do try and repeat that one for 60 seconds. I got into a habit of, because we learned with Norman that Esther Hicks and Abraham, if you're following them, they do say that it takes 37 seconds to program something, properly. And past that, you actually programming it better. So what I found better is I love swimming. So when I swim the lengths, I would be doing the I am affirmation while I'm swimming. So I'm like, I'm loved, I'm lovable. I'm loved, I'm lovable. I'm loved, I'm lovable. And I would swim all the way there and all the way back to say that, because I feel the calmness of the water. I'm physically moving my body. So the whole factors, not just one, not just me looking in a mirror and stating, I'm strong, I'm loved, I'm lovable, I'm fearless, I'm whatever it is. I'm a pro. I'm the pro at my best regardless. But Proctor told us that. Whatever the statements you make is really powerful. I have to bring Norman's book, I'm Greater, because he wrote this book by saying, I love that, by saying I am greater, because you can say to yourself, I mean, Norman has an advantage to whatever he says his name, but you know, our famous, the world famous day by day, every day, I get better and better every day. We changed it to day by day, every day, I get better and greater in every way. And it's really important, guys, that you really feel this I am. And I'll tell you more, but I'm going to hand it to Norman so we actually can blend into everything.
I love that you mentioned I am greater, not in regards of the book, but in regards of ourselves. If I want to put together in a nutshell what Vladi just shared, it was so much wisdom, starting with Bob Proctor, that he kind of had a neutral state. And this is one solution for you. If you would be kind of in a neutral emotional state and say, if things go bad, I'm neutral. If things are normal, I'm neutral. And if things are extraordinary beautiful, I'm neutral. Then you would vibrate all the time the frequency of what you would vibrate or feel when you achieve your big dreams. And then, of course, you would attract certain things. If you can get a childlike attitude and you are happy about the butterfly, about the rose on the side, about the trees, about passing by car, and you can keep that up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, then this is your vibration that will attract, because it does not get any better. For most people, it's challenging because you don't see the good in every leaf you see laying on the ground. Kids do that. They have so much fun. In a little wooden stick, they can play around. In a sandcastle, they can build. In dirt, they can play around. For us adults, it's just, noisy and dirty and just kid stuff. No matter what you do. Then Vladi mentioned something else. It's the rehearsing of things. My son Philip came to me the other day and said, Daddy, I have a question. You have a beautiful smile. I said, well, thank you very much, son. You have a beautiful smile. How did you get that? And before I could answer, he said, because I asked mommy, and mommy told me that you practiced and rehearsed that in front of the mirror. Is that true? And I said, oh, yes. For weeks and for weeks and for weeks, I rehearsed how I want to look like. If you meet many celebrities and you take 3, 4, 5 pictures with 3, 4, 5 different people, and you look at the picture and you're very unhappy with how you look and how you smile or not smile is and how your face expression is, you can continue doing that and stay unhappy, or you say, I have to change something. I got in front of the mirror and I turned my head a little bit and I asked myself, how high do I need to raise my corners of the mouth? Should the teeth be visible? How many teeth in the front and the upper part? And it's just rehearsing. It's what Vladi shared about the affirmations. It helps. Tony Robbins calls it incantations. He basically mixes what Vladi also shared. If you're running, if you're out in nature, you're really throwing words or sentences out with force, or you hit your belly or your stomach or your chest or whatever. Just get your whole body involved. And of course it has an effect if you continue doing that every day. But most people don't do it. They just do it in a training that they are in, and they do it for maybe 1-2 minutes, and maybe the next day, but then the routine comes back on Monday and they're off it again and they say, affirmations do not work. Yeah, right. In my case, if I'm 48 and I vibrated a certain way, and now the affirmation should push me in a different vibration, and I just do it 2 minutes for 2 days. I mean, my habit starts to laugh right now and says, 2 minutes, 2 days, great. I'm here since 48 years. I'm the king in the ring. And you need much more than 2 times 2 minutes to get me out of my position, from kick me off my throne. So there are certain ways and different ways, as you can see, how to reach your goal and how you can be greater. You can read beautiful books, or even the Bible, what we mentioned last time, Moses, when he saw the burning bush and God said, now go and deliver the message. And he said, but who should I say I came from? And then the bush said, I am that I am. And you can even say this sentence in different ways and it has different meanings. You can say, I am that I am. Which means I am that what I believe I am, what I'm vibrating. And then you just reaffirm it with I am, or I am that. I am that. Or you say, I am that I am. I am right now that I am in the future how I am right now. So phrasing the words a little different gives you probably a total different outcome. And there's no right or wrong. The question is what suits you. What feels most home with you? And that's probably another, I'm not quite sure if it's a secret, but most people say, you need to trust your gut feeling, or you need to trust your heart, which is a good thing. But the feeling that comes from your heart or from your gut could be also your ego, because your soul is placed below your belly button and not in your heart. When you focus on your heart, it's always a good thing. It gives you life, it pumps the blood and stuff like that. But the soul lives further down. And if the feeling comes from there, it's always the truth. And sometimes when it comes from higher, it can be still ego or mixed with different other things. So always make sure that your gut feeling is basically, where the soul's position is.
I'm going to say I'm the source. It's my favorite, because if you realize that you're the source of everything, and we so many times rely on the outside, the resources, the other people, and just going normally talking about like females, and not so much probably now, but like I grew up in the family and post-communism in a country where it was very taught that male is the family breeder and the wife is the one who stays home and cooks and cleans and do all the stuff. It was very embedded in their culture. Now, if you really think about that, it kind of embeds into a female. I'm speaking for myself because obviously I don't know how it works inside of the male's head, but really go into like, well, okay, so I'm taken care of, which is great, but you forget that you're always the source. Wherever you are, whoever you are, it doesn't mean that you can't be taken care of by a husband and all the stuff, but really, what are the I ams you telling yourself as well? Because as Norman just pointed out, half of them, if you list them, would be a paradigm, would be a limitation. This is what we say to our clients, like when we're writing and preparing goals with them, like setting the right goals. Then we go and review them and say, well, how many of these goals you actually wrote with your limitations? And you can pay attention and you look back, it's like, oh my God, yes, this is something I believe I could possibly do, but you're not going to that impossible and just far, far, far. Anything's possible for you within the realms of the nature. So if you become I'm the source and start creating this, I'm successful, I'm prosperity, I'm prosperous, whatever works for you. I like using the core. I'd rather say I'm gratitude than I'm grateful, because gratitude is the source. So I like using my affirmations going into not the verbs, but going into the source. But really think about what's the picture, because the true secret of affirmation is the picture you store in your mind, because your mind thinks in pictures. And it doesn't matter how many times you see I'm strong, if your vibration says, no, you're not. Your father told you you're weak. Or, like they were telling you at the school, you're the weakest link. Whatever it is, and we adopted it and we created this belief and we're dragging it with us across life, then I am, whatever you're stating, is not changing the vibration. That's where the secret happens. If you say I'm successful or I'm success, what picture do you have in your mind stored when you say, what does success mean to you? You need to go to deeper meanings, not just like this sort of flying quickly exercises where you just quickly say, okay, I'm going to write quickly 10 things, you know, like we've experienced this many times, ourselves too. Okay, if I have to wake up. Oh my God, I have only 10 minutes, but let me quickly squeeze 5 minutes to write 10 things I'm grateful for. You're not in a vibration to be grateful for the thing, so don't do it. It's very simple. You're not feeling it. You're rushed. You know you have to be somewhere in 10 minutes. You scribbling 10 minutes you're grateful for. It's not changing your vibration. Don't do it. Find those peaceful moments where you know that you've had, like, I do it these days. I do my gratitude in the evening, but I do revise my day and do this Neville Goddard's revision, which, you know, we can talk another time about, but you rewrite the day in your mind. So you are grateful for the things that happen. You're looking at what went really well. You find the things that didn't go the way you planned or you desired, and just create this scene with different ending in your mind. Be grateful for it and release that and say, I am happy. Because we told you a story about Nightingale, and I know you can probably few episodes you can hear that. She said you cannot say I am happy and continuously be stressed around and feel that everything's going wrong with you. It's decide to be happy first. It comes from within. I am are statements of within. So if you're stating something, I can read you, I can actually let you say, I'm committed to my goals, you know, like I'm getting better and better every day. I'm abundant. I'm successful. I'm balanced. I'm peaceful. I am rich and I'm more than good enough. Anything you state, if you don't believe it vibrationally, it's not doing the work. And I will go back to what we always remind you guys, self-help versus self-help. It's not about 100 books. You want to have them, have them. But all the people we studied and all our mentors we've done, they became successful because they all studied whole life one book. I'm not saying they haven't read any other books. They did just to get more awareness. But really, it's not about the quantity. It's the quality. How much you spending on doing. If you're doing the gratitude, do it properly. If you praise yourself, do it properly. You're doing the I am affirmations, do them properly. Properly meaning change the vibration. It's better to state 3 things than having a list. I mean, I created this list I've got 3 of these over 9 years. So if you actually look at it that way, perception is, well, it's not that many in 9 years, right? But I don't just sit here every day and just go through the list and put it. I brought it for you to see that you can actually have a list as a reminder, but you get into a habit of doing something and then just do it as and when. Because all these things are not about how you do things and how many lists you tick off and how many books you read. It's about how well can you actually create the happiness from within. How can you connect to the inside? Because everything is inside out. It doesn't matter what you do on the outside. It's the in-out. And the happiest people, the wealthiest people, the more joyous people are not out there screaming. And that's the core. People go and goes like, oh my God, I need to find the right mentor. You probably don't. You just need to be in a certain circle to expand your awareness, but bring that gratitude to yourself that you are your own mentor. But what you need is be surrounded. Yes, we need mentors for one reason, because if we've never done something, it's going to scrape a lot of time, money, and energy, and years of work, because somebody can guide us faster. And that's what I like. That's why I get mentors, so I can get there faster, but properly. Running through 5 things, I've done it, and I'm advising you not to do it. Why? Because I didn't believe. People told me don't do all these things at the same time. But I didn't believe them because my ego said if you do all 5 of them, you can just really push this faster. No, it didn't push anywhere. I got exhausted. And it's really not making you, and all the things that you will realize in a peace, in a calm, peaceful manner. The best exercise I do every single day is 1 hour of nothing. Still very hard for me to just stay still and do nothing. But so many great things happen And those are the things that the moments you can say, I'm just happy. What if you were just doing that? Like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I love my life. Create passwords for your getting into programs and computers and everywhere. It says, I'm the happiest person, or I'm happy, I'm wealthy, I'm rich, I'm smiling, like do the passwords that actually have to type every day, and it reminds you how happy you are. Norman, back to you. It was a
I
long
like
answer.
that. And sitting an hour still can be a lot of joy if you see it like that. If you say, it's part of a routine, and then I need to write 100 times my goal, then I need to do affirmations, then I need to do sports, then I need to do Wim Hof breathing, then I need to do those binocular sounds that get me to the alpha level. If you ask billionaires, almost none of them have done any of those things. They did not sit still for an hour. They did not meditate for 2 hours. They did not write affirmations 100 times back and forth and up and down. They did nothing like that. They just found something that they love doing. They are not working, they're enjoying themselves. And even though they might behave like a very unkind person, some of them like being like that. So it's all about the frequency you send out while you do it. Like Vladi said earlier, if you just write your affirmations to write them, but you're not in a good mood, it's just a waste of ink and time. It will not change anything. And some of you might wonder and say, but affirmations did work for people. I know some where it really worked. Yes, maybe they haven't had any counter intentions inside of them. What we mentioned earlier as well. Could be relatives, could be ancestors, could be belief of the parents that they say wealthy people don't get to heaven. And you want to be one that gets to heaven because you're born a Christian and you want to go to heaven. And this is preventing you. And this belief somebody else does not have. For sure, it's easier for them to say a statement with I am wealth, I am rich, I am abundance. Because they don't have any counter intention within them that says, no you don't, no you don't. What Vladi said about the pictures earlier. What are the pictures that your mind pulls out of their cabinet when you say wealth or health or joy or fun or relationship or family? A picture pops up, and this picture creates a vibration automatically. Whatever is stored in your subconscious mind based on that picture. It's an automatic thing. Can you change that? Yes, but you need to be aware, who am I, what do I want? And always follow basically your heart or your soul and say, what brings me the most joy? And do more of that. That's so much better than writing things down and doing the usual morning or evening routines and writing 50 pages in a gratitude book, but being totally bored and tired and say, yeah, my mentor told me to do that. Write one gratitude little piece of paper. If you can put the right feeling behind it, if you can make that out of joy and fun, then it will work much better than if you just do it because somebody told you. And I just had a beautiful word in mind, developer. I think a good mentor is a developer. He or she develops you in the way that you are and where you want to be. And we spoke about that 2 or 3 episodes ago, that there's not that one system. If we would record a video series for you, we would do it how we think it worked for us and how we know it worked for us. Might not work for you. So a one-on-one is the best because it's all about you. We develop you as a human being and your I am that you really know that you are. I am that. I am. And if you want to add God at the end or not, it's up to you. But you have so much strength and power with your thoughts, with your mind, with your vibration that follows the thought. The vibration does not happen automatically. It's a kind of emotion. Emotion triggers a vibration. This is your connection to source. And this is always being triggered by thoughts and by pictures in your thoughts. So you need to dig a little deeper and ask yourself, who am I? Who am I in the meaning of how was I programmed? How was I brought up? And almost nobody, you tell that, really takes time to sit down for hours and hours and says, I will ask my better half to just say a word and I just pop out what the pictures that comes to my mind. And your better half says wealth and you say castle. And the other one says health and you say a pounding heart. And you just make notes. It's not good or bad. But the question is if you would think about a castle or pumping heart, does this give you a good feeling? Do you want to live in a castle? Do you want to have a pumping heart? And these are just examples. So you figure out what you could reprogram and what you really would need to focus, instead of just doing what a trillion people have done before, and for most of them did not bring that much success. Always follow your gut, always follow your heart, always follow your soul. And I leave it to Vladi to close today's podcast with something beautiful.
I will finish it with what you just said. Like, make sure the picture you have in your mind is yours and not somebody else's. We often just see success and boats and private planes and stuff, but ask yourself, is that what I truly want? Or would I just love to experience going somewhere with other people on a yacht or a private jet or somewhere? But my true desire is this. Because really, listen to your heart and your soul, and really pay attention to, are these pictures mine? Because then we're heading towards the goals. Sometimes your goal is not yours, your picture is not yours, and that's why we're sitting and wondering, but I'm doing all the stuff and I don't understand why I'm not there. Are you aligned? This is all me, what I love, where I'm heading. So create the pictures in your mind and really do that exercise. That actually helped really a lot. We'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to us. We're really grateful. And we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.